One Friday, in late October, I was bored out of my mind, sitting at home. I decided to go on Tinder, just to see if there was anyone close in the area who wanted to hang out. I swiped right with a guy named Gabe. He proceeded to add me on Snapchat, and we started to talk a bit. He decided to come pick me up and drive around and smoke for a little. Unfortunately, I agreed with the plan. As soon as I got into his car, I felt this weird vibe. Gabe's smile was way too wide, and he was staring at me without blinking, just long enough to make me feel uncomfortable. He also wouldn't tell me anything about himself. He kept saying how he made his money by doing this and that, whatever he could. He would also refer to all females as bitches, which was another red flag. After we drove around and smoked a bit, I was becoming tired and asked him if he could take me home. Gabe said yes, but he just needed to stop by the grocery store first. I reluctantly agreed because the store was on the way to my house. By the time we pulled into the parking lot of the grocery store, it was dark outside. There was only a few lights on in the parking lot. After about 5 minutes of sitting there, while Gabe was typing on his phone, I became curious and looked at the reflection of the driver's side window to see if I could read his texts. I could, and I read, "Yeah, I got her, sitting in the Lucky's parking lot." I immediately went numb. I decided to do something fast, because I didn't know who he was texting or why he was telling them where we are. I was so frightened, I was almost shaking. He didn't notice anything, so I asked him, "Aren't you going to go inside?" Gabe said, "Yeah, just a sec. I'm making a list of all the stuff I need in there." I nearly passed out from the fear. I could obviously see the texting app still open in the reflection of the window. He was lying. I immediately grabbed my bag and bolted out of his car. I sprinted straight towards the entrance of the grocery store. I heard him yell out of the car, "Hey, where the hell are you going?" I continued to make a direct beeline to the front lighted entrance. When I made it safely inside the store, I looked out the window to see him driving around the parking lot and almost hitting another car. I called my mom to come pick me up, and when I got home, I saw that he unmatched me from Tinder and blocked me on Snapchat without saying anything. I'm not sure what Gabe's plan was to do to me, but I will never be going on Tinder ever again. When I was 24, my boyfriend of 5 years broke up with me. I was hurt, sad, and lonely. In my despair, I decided to go on Tinder and see what all the hype was about. I didn't take the app too seriously and didn't put much effort into my bio and photos. It was mainly for shits and giggles. Since I don't drive, I take the bus everywhere I go. This one Friday evening, I was riding the bus back home from the mall when, in the corner of my eye, I noticed a heavy-set man staring at me. And since it was public transportation, I was used to being stared at, and initially thought nothing of it. I suddenly sneezed, and the heavy-set man said, "Bless you." I replied with a thank you. He then hands me a tissue, which I hesitantly took. Up close, I noticed that he had green eyes and a 5 o'clock shadow. 1 mile, he said. Wiping my nose with the tissue, I stared at the man and said, "What? What did he mean by 1 mile? He smiled, flashing blazingly white teeth, and said, "1 mile? That was on your Tinder location. It said you were 1 mile from me. I recognize you." He pulled out his phone and showed me my Tinder profile. He continued to say, "We talked for a bit, but then you stopped answering me. I was hoping I'd find you." The bus came to a stop, and I immediately ran off. It wasn't my correct stop, but I didn't care. I needed to get away from this man. I turned to face the bus driving off, and saw the heavy-set man waving his hand at me from the window. I immediately went onto my phone and deleted Tinder. That was way too creepy, and I told myself, right then and there, that I would never again use a dating app.